Greetings and salutations, loyal viewers of this channel. My name is Sean, and today we gotta talk about this sensation. It's sweeping the nation, and of course, that is criminality. Now, normally on this channel, I tend to cover a lot more tragic crimes, a lot more depressing stories, and I apologize for that. It's the holiday season. We should talk a lot about more hilarious instances of criminality, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about this insane heist that have been going down in various locations across the country that involve the Big Boy statue. Yes, this is the Big Boy heist video. Buckle up, get ready for it, inject it into your veins because I'm very excited to tell you this magical tale. But before we do, I want to say thank you to everybody who signed up over at actualjusticewarrior.com/join.
Give me the money. Give me the money. Okay?
And thank you to the podcast listeners, Spotify, Apple, and Google's podcasting platform.
Have you seen him? The Georgetown Frs Big Boy disappeared during the early morning hours of November 20th, and now security video shows how it went down.
So first of all, you gotta love everything about this story right off the bat. They're asking you if you've seen this giant statue, if you know its whereabouts. They're about to put it on the side of milk cartons because it has been missing for well over a month at this point in time, and nobody quite understands how this elaborate heist, this Ocean's 11 level maneuver was able to be pulled off. But now, finally, we got surveillance video of this instance, and you gotta check it out. And by the way, I thought initially this was 100% going to be a crazy frat boy kind of story or something like that, but there's actually a real profit margin in stealing these Big Boy statues, something that I did not quite understand when I got into this story.
Security video shows how it went down. The video isn't great because it's from inside the restaurant looking out, but you can see a U-Haul truck pull into the parking lot, then back up next to the statue. Within seconds, two people hop out and then easily load the 230-pound Big Boy into the back of the U-Haul.
So as you can see right there in the grainy, awful, terrible surveillance video from inside this fast food restaurant, they're coming in, they brought their own U-Haul, this was pre-planned, pre-executed, again, Ocean's 11 level of detail in this heist, including having all of the characters involved in this heist, and about 30 seconds after they pull up, they managed to get this 230-pound statue into a U-Haul that they had pre-arranged in order to steal it. Now, one of the things that made me laugh about this surveillance video being played on this local news segment is that they play it again for you and ask you if you can recognize anybody from this video.
Here it is again. Georgetown police are hoping this video might trigger the memory of someone who may have seen something.
Listen, if you can recognize anybody from this video, then I think that you should get an award for the best vision of all time, because I can't see anything. There may be one or two individuals there. I have absolutely no idea what is going on. All I can see is a giant mega statue being lifted up, raised up by these thieves, being loaded in the truck, and I can barely even make that out.
Security video shows how it went down. The video isn't great because it's from inside the restaurant looking out, but you can see a U-Haul truck pull into the parking lot, then back up next to the statue. Within seconds, two people hop out and then easily load the 230-pound Big Boy into the back of the U-Haul.
I mean, you got a clear view of the U-Haul, but overall, this was not well covered by surveillance. And if you recognize something in this, I think it might be because you were involved in the crime. So if you turn over any tips to me related to this, I will turn you into law enforcement. Let me make that clear. No matter how hilarious this crime is, no matter how much I enjoy the idea of these big boys being stolen across the country, because apparently they are, I will turn you in no matter the comedic value of your criminality.
We're just looking for any help from the community. If anybody knows anything, if there's any tips, any leads that we can look into that would help us get Big Boy back.
All right, what's also making me laugh and not giving this the seriousness of the story that it actually deserves, or maybe it's giving it the exact level of seriousness that this story deserves, is Lieutenant Michael Scott right there, who can barely hold back his grin as he's talking about how they need to figure out what's going on in this story, and if you have any tips, let them know. If you're laughing, Michael Scott, I'm laughing. And yes, I'm pretty sure that's the name of the Office character Relax, everybody. I understood. I get the reference. But yeah, he's not taking this as seriously as he is saying. His face does not match his words, which is understandable because we're talking about stealing something that looks like this.
Now, as far as who those people are, we do not know. We've reported that Louisville Frishes had a Big Boy statue stolen exactly 4 days prior to the theft here in Georgetown. But
so as you heard right there, this may be a criminal syndicate, the Big Boy Boys, the Big Boy Gang, the Big Boy Bros. I don't know exactly what they're called, but I'm calling naming rights when they're eventually caught, because a Big Boy statue was actually stolen from another part of Kentucky a little while before, 4 days according to this particular report, and I think that is absolutely hilarious. And this is why initially when I first heard this story, I thought that this had to be some kind of prank, that in some frat house somewhere around a university in the state of Kentucky, they had these statues up and it was a big moment or whatever, and it was part of a dare or something like that, and the second statue was stolen as a counter dare. But apparently this is a serious avenue to make money if you're a criminal. And by the way, a lot of intricate planning did go into this. It wasn't just them pulling up in the U-Haul, taking the Big Boy, throwing it in the car, and then that was it. There was more intricate maneuvering going on here than you could possibly understand.
the big question is, how did they get this statue off of its foundation so easily?
At some point, they had come and unbolted Big Boy because they were able to get in and out of Frisch's within probably about a minute to two once the U-Haul pulled up.
Police suspect the thieves unbolted the statue during another visit before returning and stealing Big Boy. And it's still unknown if the same crooks took the Louisville Big Boy days earlier. He's still MIA too.
Yeah, so apparently this 230-pound statue is bolted down at every fast food location, and these guys actually showed up before, again, without being noticed, and unbolted the statue so they could come back later and steal it. And what's amazing about that is they appear to have no surveillance video of them doing so. Otherwise, they would be showing us that. So this thing could have been unbolted for a really long period of time. And at any point in time, because it's at the drive-thru, could have possibly fallen onto a car for a customer, causing a major lawsuit. So yeah, this was actually pretty well planned out. For a heist, that sounds ridiculously stupid. For a heist, that sounds like the dumbest thing you've ever heard. They actually had some planning, and there's some reasoning behind that planning. There's a reason behind the cost, and it's not just fun. These things are incredibly valuable.
We're told these iconic statues can sell for $8,000 to $10,000, making the crime of stealing one a felony.
Yeah, that's right. These statues, these goofy little things, these things that look like this, can net you 8 to 10 grand on the open market or the underground Big Boy market, whatever that is. So this heist, 2 minutes they said they were come by earlier, unbolted the statue, they could have netted this crew about $20,000. $20K for 2 minutes of work. Not bad if you're out there as a criminal. Remember, if you go into a major bank on any given day, you can only expect, if you were to do a bank robbery, to get about $20,000, plus you end up with federal charges, there's way better surveillance and all that. But the Big Boy heist, the Big Boy criminals, these big boys committing their Big Boy felony, they're able to net that much money without any difficulty or without any serious difficulty, and the police are none the wiser. In fact, they're laughing while they're giving interviews related to this.
For now, police hope they can just solve the Big Boy hamburger heist soon so he can return to his perch and begin greeting customers like he's done for so many years.
I just want to say we're not calling it the Big Boy hamburger heist. They did not steal hamburgers. We're calling it the Big Boy heist. We're calling it Ocean's 11 Part 5 Big Boy Edition. We're calling it Big Boy, Big Crime, Big Steal, but we're not calling it at all at any point in time the Big Boy hamburger heist. How dare you, local news agency that brought me this story and brought me all this joy, name it in such a lame way. But yeah, so this is actually a thing that has been going on across Kentucky. There have been 2 instances within the same week. These things are actually pretty valuable. I was actually trying to find and dig up some surveillance video of what went down in Louisville. However, even though it says that theft was also caught on surveillance video, they did not show it in the local news segment.
New here tonight, the Big Boy statue at the restaurant at Poplar Level Road has been stolen. The manager telling WDRB it was taken last week. They filed a police report, and the entire theft was caught on security video.
On top of that, that particular Louisville location had actually had their statue stolen before, so this is a common pattern that is going on in the state of Kentucky when it comes to these big boy statues. Now look, I really got into this, I kind of over-investigated this to the point of absurdity, and I actually found an instance where a big boy statue was stolen in the year 2007 and ended up on a high school roof. So I do want to point out that even though this seems like the greatest heist in the history of all heistdom, these seem like super thieves, and we should all be concerned, it also could be a part of an elaborate prank, as we are pulling into a winter break, and maybe people want to drop these big boys at that point in time. But I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Which name for this heist crew or for this heist do you prefer? I gave them all earlier in the video. And do you think that this is elaborate criminality or an elaborate prank that deserves some praise? So let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. As usual, if you like the video, show them by leaving a like, subscribe for more content, follow me on my social media, support review the support links in the description of this video. This has been me talking about the big boy heist. Till next time.